Imagine this. A quiet night in the city of London, September 1666. People are asleep. The streets are dark, except for a few small lanterns glowing from the windows, and the only sounds are the whisper of the wind between the narrow alleys. Suddenly, from a small bakery on Pudding Lane, a tiny spark escapes, a spark no one paid attention to, and no one could imagine it would trigger one of the worst disasters Europe had ever seen. Welcome to Attention, the channel that takes you deep into the world's most shocking disasters, tragedies, and historical events that changed the course of humanity. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story. Now let's go back to London in 1666. The city looked nothing like it does today. Streets were extremely narrow, houses packed tightly together, and almost everything was built of wood, often covered with tar or thatch. Warehouses were stuffed with coal, timber, and flammable goods. In other words, London was a ticking time bomb, waiting for the smallest mistake. In the early hours of September 2nd, the fire that started in that small bakery spread with a terrifying speed. Strong winds carried the flames from house to house, from street to street. By sunrise, people realized the nightmare had already spiraled out of control. Families ran through the streets screaming, children clinging to their mothers, men desperately trying to save their belongings, while others hurled their possessions into the River Thames, praying they might survive the inferno. Authorities tried to use the only firefighting method they had, pulling down houses around the flames to create fire breaks. But, hesitation, arguments, and the fear of angry homeowners delayed the decision. Every minute lost allowed the fire to grow stronger, just devouring more of the city. By the second day, the blaze reached the commercial district. Markets turned to ashes, and warehouses exploded as gunpowder and other combustibles ignited. The sound of explosions echoed across London, spreading even more fear among the already terrified citizens. The greatest shock came when the flames reached St. Paul's Cathedral, the spiritual and architectural heart of London. Built largely of wood and filled with priceless books and manuscripts, the cathedral stood no chance. Within hours, the massive roof collapsed, and the great church was reduced to a mountain of flame and smoke, a sight burnt into the memory of all who witnessed it. Amidst the chaos, wild rumors spread. Some believed foreigners had set the fire deliberately. Angry mobs attacked innocent strangers, French, Dutch, anyone who looked different. Xenophobia turned tragedy into violence, leaving even more scars on the city. Official records claimed very few deaths, fewer than 10. But modern historians believe the real number was far higher. The fire burned so hot that bodies, especially of the poor, were likely reduced to ash, leaving no trace. Their names never made it into the records. After 4 terrifying days, the winds finally shifted, and soldiers managed to contain the fire. But the damage was beyond belief. More than 13,000 homes destroyed, 87 churches gone, 44 trade halls reduced to rubble, and around 70,000 people left homeless. London was a city of ruins. And yet, from the ashes came a turning point. The great architect Christopher Wren helped to redesign London, with, wider streets, stronger buildings made of stone instead of wood, and new regulations for safety. The fire that nearly destroyed London gave birth to the modern city we know today. Still, the memory never faded. The screams, the collapse of St. Paul's, the thick black smoke hanging over the city for days, all became a permanent scar in history. Proof that one small spark can burn down an entire city. And here's the question for you. If you had lived back then, what would you have done? Try to save your home, or run for your life and leave everything behind? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Attention, and share your thoughts in the comments. Should our next story be about the volcano that buried Pompeii, or the devastating 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami? Stay tuned. The next one will be even more shocking.